Hello, how is everyone doing tonight? So happy to see everybody on the live stream. It looks like we have a lot of people in chat already talking about their favorite thread tonight. So we have matte thread versus shiny. And I actually wanted to talk about matte thread. So I've talked before in a previous video about the frosted matte thread. This one is from Madeira, and I found my sample card. And I just wanted to show you guys all the colors. I've only had black and white, but just look at all those colors. I can't wait to order some more and try them out because I'm a big fan of the frosted thread. Also, another thing that I wanted to say, so tonight we are going to be making a project that has been very requested. I think they're called the Charming Farm overalls. They're the overalls in that set. A lot of people have made them in our Facebook group, and we're going to make those tonight because I get a lot of emails asking about how to do it and if they can just sew it on a sewing machine. So we're going to talk about that, and we're basically just going to make this for our little lion that we made last week. I hope that sounds exciting. Also, you guys, I was working on a few things while I was waiting on the live stream to start, and this is the crayon roll, or what is it? The Crayon Zipper Pouch. So I haven't seen it yet. This is my prototype. I've trimmed it out of the hoop, and I figured that we could see it come alive together. What do you guys think? Does that sound like fun? I'm gonna go ahead and turn this right side out. I'm gonna put you guys in the top down position here. So this is the lining, and I've already trimmed all the way around, and I just used batting on the front and the back. Let's see what it looks like, you guys. I'm going to try to do this very gently, and I like to start with the farthest corner from me. This could be a big bust, you guys. I hope that it turns out good. Here we go. Oh, this is so scary. So I can already tell that there is a tack down line that I may need to move, possibly. But I think this is the lining, so it doesn't matter. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to carefully turn it right side out to expose the lining. You have to turn these things right side out 2 times. So here's the first one. All right, let me just get my butter knife. Where it is. Here it is. All right, let me just get these little corners poked out. All right. Go up in here and get this one. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. It is a beautiful day here in North Carolina. All right, so here is the first turning of the pencil pouch, and we have a few steps to do here. I'm just going to do them with you guys. How does that sound? Does that sound good? All right. I'm going to remove this stabilizer. It's just tearaway, so it comes right away. But this pencil pouch is perfect for back to school, and your little kiddos can put their crayons and their pencils in it. So I am super excited to see this. All right, so one other step I need to do here is I actually need, let me see if I have any of it. We may have to skip it. What I was gonna do, because I don't see it on my table here, is I like to use the sticky tape on the inside to close up that opening, but I'm not going to do it tonight. Don't tell anyone, okay? It's y'all's secret between me and you guys, so don't tell anyone. But I am actually going to take a picture, and this time I'm going to use my phone because I just think that would be easier. What do you guys think? That way I can keep my quality on my overhead camera. All right, I'm just going to take a picture of this for the tutorial, and I'm just going to show. And I'll insert some other pictures to go along with that later. Okay. Now, Now we have to turn it right side out again. So we're gonna unzip this little zipper here very, very carefully. Okay, and now here's the actual zipper bag. I'll show you guys a little sneak peek. Oh yes, I see a comment. Someone says they see Freya in the background. My little Freya baby. She is going to be joining me tonight. She is actually my Beanie Weenie's mother. She's had all of our litters. She's a Westie, so a West Highland Terrier. And she's an old girl too. But yeah, she's Bean's mother. And for those of you who watched the video on the Cookie Puppy, I actually made Cookie because of Bean and my grief. But I still have his mommy with me. And I was there when Bean was born. And I just love puppies so much. And I love Westies. So I decided to breed them. There was no one doing it in our area. Oh my goodness, I'm loving this zipper pouch. What do you guys think? What do you think? This is precious. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is so cute. I put a little bit of shiny vinyl on the front of mine, but that's optional. And this one will come and it'll say crayons across the front, but I actually personalized this one and I just put Caitlin on it. And I got a little tab here on the side so it can be attached to something, or you can attach a keep fob to it. But yeah, let's zip it up and take a little gander. Oh, I am loving this. This is an exclusive for those who place an order during our Snuggle Safari release that we have going on. So just a little extra gift for you guys. And I have some zipper pulls that go with this so you can attach them to the zipper. And we have some that are for back to school, but I made a version 2 or a like a sequel to those. And I think it has a glue bottle, a crayon, a school bus, and one other thing, and I can't remember, but there's 4 different things to choose from that you can have dangling from this little zipper to make it easy for little hands. But isn't that precious? This would be great for teachers or for all your little kids that are going back to school here in a few days. Bless their heart. They've been enjoying the summer. We gotta send them on to learn. Anybody here in the chat homeschool their kids? I'm just wondering. I just got through finishing up homeschooling all my kids. The last one graduated this year and I am free. I have been homeschooling my kids for 9 years, you guys. So Mama is free now. But yeah, I thought I would share that with you guys. Let's see, let's get right into the project. We're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight. We're gonna be having a giveaway, or actually a couple of giveaways. I'm gonna be sharing some customer creations, some beautiful things that you guys have made. I'm so excited to show them all off. And I have a few other little show and tells that will be popping up later. I'm gonna get some tea because I am so thirsty. Oh, it is hot in here. All the lights and the computers, it gets really hot here in this craft room now. So I said we were going to be making the charming overalls tonight. These are really fun, and I think that they're one of the easier projects we have for the in the hoop animals. Now last week, if you missed the live stream, we had a giveaway for everyone where you could enter a secret coupon code and you could get a free doll on the website, like those little animal dolls with the long legs and arms, the little animals. And I saw some of you guys post on the Facebook group, and I just wondered if there's anybody in the chat tonight that was here last week. What animal did you guys pick? So I'm very curious. But anyway, this little outfit that we're going to be making tonight, it's going to fit your doll that you picked last week. So it's kind of like a little continuation. And I'm just going to show you how interesting. We're going to do some crazy techniques tonight, and we're going to be making clothing in the hoop. So I can't wait to show you guys how this works. But first, we need to pick our fabric, and I'm going to let you guys help me out. Now, there's a little bit of a delay, so bear with me. But here are the choices. So I'm gonna say, I wish I could figure out how to create a poll, but I'm not that good yet, you guys. Which fabric do you think? Let me put you guys in the top down position. So I would like to use this fabric here as the pocket and the straps on the overalls. But which fabric are you guys thinking is gonna look good on our little lion? Let me get our lion so we can take a peek. Which one would be precious? So we have the floral. This is so pretty. This is my favorite. I'm gonna say, imagine this is overalls with a little pink pocket. We also have, I'm gonna sacrifice it for you guys, but I have my Beauty and the Beast fabric from Riley Blake. Oh my goodness. So we could make them out of this. Let me open it up so we can get a good peek at it. Obviously, we're going to want to use our fabric this way. So this fabric, kind of fun and cheerful. Okay, let's see what else we got. Fabric number 3 is just this pink floral that's very simple. And it also goes with my Riley Blake Beauty and the Beast set. So that's really cute too. Just simple. Precious. And I have a pink variant of that same Beauty and the Beast fabric. It's kind of a peachy pink. All right, you guys, I need your help. What are we gonna make this out of tonight? Let me lay them all out so everyone can see. And I'm looking at the comments. This is gonna be tough. So give me a minute and bear with me. Let's see, what are we gonna pick? Let's see. I'm going to scroll up and read these comments. Everybody's liking that floral print. I'm seeing the overwhelming majority of you agree with me tonight. The blue floral with a pink pocket. Floral. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say that we're gonna be making it out of the blue floral fabric, which is really good because I bought this at Hobby Lobby last week and I saw it and I was just like, I have to have it. I got a whole yard. I'm pretty sure I did. But this is, yep, Hobby Lobby. It's not a fancy fabric at all. I'm pretty sure I got it on sale. That's what we're gonna use. Now, this project is going to require some pre-cut fabric. We're not going to get there yet. We will in a minute. So let's put aside our fabric and our little lion. By the way, you guys, look at this tail. Is it not everything? I love this tail so much. I actually want to tell you guys how I did it real quick. So, you know, last week we made this lion. I went ahead and turned her right side out. She doesn't have a face, remember, because we skipped it. But here's the sewn in arms, okay? And her little tail, it doesn't have any fur on it. So this is how I did it. I just took a little square of this faux fur. And I'm not even sure. Yeah, I have a blade here. We can do it real quick. I just cut the backing of this fur like so. You always want to cut the backing. Okay. And then what I did was I put hot glue on the tail, actually on the back side, and I laid it like so and held it until the glue, whoops, let's not do it upside down. Now there's no hot glue, but we're pretending for real, you know what I mean? So I hot glued it like this, and then I put some hot glue on the top of the fabric and I just wrapped it around and touched in the middle and overlapped it. Is that not the cute? And you could even put a little ribbon. You could put a ribbon at the tail too. That would be super cute. But that's how I did it. So I thought I would share that with you guys. All right, Mr. Miss Lion. It's a he and a she. Because, you know, girl lions don't have a mane, but I just had to make the mane, you guys. All right, so the first step is I have stitched out the overall box, and it has these little marks right here. So I'm going to make these really visible for you guys. I may need to get my Sharpie out. Let's do that. I want you guys to really see these marks. This is part 1 of the overalls. So you're going to stitch this big box first, and then you're going to stitch the straps for the overalls. They're going to be color step number 2. And I think, you guys, we're going to use, let me look at my fabric and see if I have anything better. I don't think I do. Oh, let me just take a peek in here and see if I have a blue fabric that could go with this. You guys, don't judge me for my fabric storage because it's crazy town. But you know what? It's better than throwing it on the floor. I think I'm just going to use that pink fabric because I'm not seeing anything in here that just jumps out at me right now. I really need some more fabric. This is about all the cotton fabric that I have. Actually, I have some quilting fabric that I've swore not to touch because it's special. Yeah, let's use the pink fabric. I think that's a good idea. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut 2 pieces of fabric to cover these little straps here. Let me get my scissors. Oh my, I know I have scissors. They're somewhere. Oh, here they are right in front of me. Good grief, you guys. I am the worst when it comes to losing my scissors. All right, let's just cut this real quick. Like I said, we need 2 pieces because we need a piece for the front and a piece for the back. And I am not the best cutter. Not the best at all. I'm very messy. This is how I cut my fabrics for my In the Hoop projects. Mostly I don't really measure anything. Okay, I'm gonna put these, just pretend that these fabrics are right sides together, okay? Right side to right side. Now, if you guys are doing the 4x4, 5x5, or the 5x7, your straps might be really narrow. So it's okay for you to use something like felt. So, you know, let's pretend that this is felt. You would just cut 1 or 2 pieces of felt. And you don't have to worry about right side, wrong side, because if you're making those small sizes, you don't have to turn anything right side out. But we're going to take this and cover up the outline and tape it in place. We're going to go to the embroidery machine and stitch the tack down line. All right, I'm going to stitch everything in a dark brown color so you can see it really good, but don't do that because it's quite dark. It doesn't match. Let's see here. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything tonight. I wanted to say in the course of tonight, whenever I'm answering questions, I notice that I sometimes forget to come back to someone's question later on. If you guys could please let me know when I do that so that I don't forget anyone. And last week, I also forgot to do the last giveaway of the night. And I just feel awful about that. I'm really sorry, you guys. We will have a giveaway tonight. It is just stitching that second tack down. I'm going to heat up my iron. We are going to need that in just a minute. And I'm going to need my felt pad here. Miss Freya, are you being a good girl? Are you being a good girl, Mama? She's my baby girl. I call her Mama or Freya, just however, whatever mood I'm in. She's Mama and she's Freya. Do you guys have a nickname for your doggies? Let's get some little scissors and the hemostats. Okay, you guys, I got these all stitched out. I'm going to answer some questions in just a minute for you guys. I want to get through these first stages of this overalls. And I just want to remind everybody, if I miss your question tonight and I don't answer it and you really want me to answer it, just keep repeating it and eventually Becca will see it. But here is our little straps all tacked down, and I'm going to remove them from the stabilizer. So we're going to gently pull up. And it's okay if it tears. So I just kind of like to tackle one side at a time. I do this to save on stabilizer because I know some of you don't like to waste like me. So I'm just going to gently peel it up. If it tears, it's okay. We have a way to fix that. All right, here they are all removed. Now, obviously we have these little tears and we're going to do something about that right now. We are going to just cut a scrap of stabilizer to go right over that little tear. So what I like to do is just take a scrap and I'm going to spray some adhesive just a bit, and we're going to put it on the back side of the hoop. I like to put it on the back because I feel like it's more secure there, and I can push on it from the top like this and really smooth it down. And I'm just going to gently tug this stabilizer and make sure it's still taut. Okay. Now, we are going to take this back to the embroidery machine and stitch the pocket outline. And while we're doing that, we're going to trim these tabs. I like to use pinking shears for this, because I always worry it's going to come unraveled on me. It's just a little extra step I like to take. Just down each side. I'm going to be very busy tonight, you guys, and one of the reasons why I ask you guys so many questions is I really enjoy going back and reading them after the show is ended. So don't think I didn't see what you said, because I'm always reading you guys' comments whenever I have time. All right, we got them all trimmed, right? So now we're going to take some hemostats and we're going to reach up inside of here, and I'm just going to, I always put tape on my hemostat so it doesn't tear my fabric. Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat, so I'm just going to poke it from the top. I need those turning tools that you guys are telling me to get. All right, there's one. Let's get the other. I got to tell you guys what happened to me the other night. I came into this sewing room and I was getting ready to do some sewing, and I walked in and my embroidery machine was all dark. It wasn't on. Now, I have left my embroidery machine on for like 12 years. I never turn it off. It's just always on. That's probably not good for it, but it's always on. And I walked in here and the machine was not on. And I looked and it was plugged up. And I checked my iron because it's plugged into a power strip too, the same power strip, and it worked. So I didn't know what was going on. And boy, you guys, my heart started to flip out because I thought that my embroidery machine was broken. Nothing I did made the machine come on. I plugged it into the wall directly. That didn't work. I toggled the power switch just in case, you know, I had it backwards. I was plugging it into everything, and I went to my husband and I said, it's finally happened. I said it was going to happen, and it's happened. And I was about to start crying. And he's like, what is it? You know, and I brought him into the room and I showed him, and it was on. So I don't know what happened. I guess God heard me say a prayer and he made sure my machine came on. But it scared me to death, and it just all comes back to my big fear of something happening to my machine. You guys, if my machine goes down, I am in a big trouble. And I told my husband, I said, this year for Christmas, I must get a new embroidery machine because is too important and I need a backup. I'm just gonna iron these things, you guys. Has that ever happened to one of you guys? And if it happened, did you get it fixed? I'm still scared to death it's gonna die on me. Quite terrified of it. We have our little straps. Okay. I'm probably a bad embroidery machine mama, leaving my machine on all the time. I don't know why I do that. I think it's just because I'm lazy. All right, now we have the next outline, which is the pocket. Let me get you guys back down in this position. We're gonna use that pink fabric again, okay? Like I said, we're gonna move along pretty good tonight, but I definitely wanna see you guys' questions, and we're gonna get to those in a little bit. All right, let me just trim this about so yay big. But yeah, that terrified me. I just thought it was it. It has happened. And I felt really sick. I guess I had a panic attack. It was awful. Speaking of a bad week, I had to take my husband to the emergency room this week, you guys. He collapsed and had pain in his throat and head. And I read somewhere that, you know, heart attacks, they can be with or without chest pain. So because his arm was hurting and his neck, his throat, and his head and ears, I didn't know if he was having a heart attack. So I took him to the emergency room, and they hooked him up to everything and ran blood tests, and turns out he had an abnormal EKG. So we've been going to the doctor this week, and I have to take him to a cardiologist next week. So really scary stuff. I have had a week of scares. So, oh, I need a break. This is very relaxing doing this with you guys. Let's get this fabric ironed because it's not looking so hot right now because Becca just throws it in a box. He's feeling a lot better. They gave him some medicine. He has to be on baby aspirin and things like that. But yeah, he has an abnormal EKG, which is kind of worrying. All right, we're gonna take this fabric and we're gonna cover the outline for the pocket. It's just a little reminder that we are getting older. Let me say something about this pocket, you guys. So this pocket comes, you can do it plain, but it also comes with a tractor, a rainbow, and a heart, I believe. And if you were doing that design on your pocket, you would just put down one piece of fabric and you would stitch your tractor or your heart, you know, the tractor or the heart or whatever. I'm not going to do that tonight because I want to save on time. So I'm just going to place the second piece of fabric right side to right side. We're going to keep the tradition going this time for the giveaway. When I finish a hooping, we are going to have a giveaway. That sounds good to everyone. So taping my fabric, and now we are going to stitch the tack down line. The good thing about these clothing patterns is they are really fast to stitch out. And you'll see why it might be a little bit hard to make this on a sewing machine, because whenever I'm engineering clothing for our in the hoop animals and dolls, I have to think outside the box to make them look like they are sewn on a sewing machine, but yet allow you to make them on an embroidery machine. So we'll get this part done, and then we're going to be doing some fun stuff here. I'm going to take a few questions. Let's see if I can find some good questions, you guys. And like I said, if I miss someone's question and you really want me to answer it, just please re-ask. Let's see here. I'm not the only one having machine problems, huh? Thank you guys for the prayers for my husband. I appreciate that. So here's a great question. So Magda says, what size hoop are you doing on the overalls? So I'm just making the 8x12 size, which goes with all the little test dolls. I always have like a separate test file and I scale everything to that. So whenever I'm prototyping and I'm making clothing, I just make that clothing fit my exact prototype doll, like the lion that we made last week. And then I just take whatever I made and I scale it to all the hoop sizes. That's a good question. Thank you. Let's see. Here's another question. So Sally Craig says, have you tried making these clothes sets with jersey knits? Yes, I have, Sally, and it works really good. I believe on the cozy coat that came with Ruby and Ralph, I used a sweater knit on that and it worked really good. And the bonus to that is that it doesn't come unraveled. I try to design these clothing sets in case you are using cotton fabrics because it gives you the greatest variety of looks. So sometimes it's really hard to find a really pretty jersey knit. So I try to hide the seams as much as I can for you guys and make them turn out kind of like real clothes. That's a great question, Sally. Thank you for that. All right, here's the outline and it left a little opening at the bottom. I am going to gently remove this fabric again. So just like we did, and the reason why I do this, you guys, is just to save on stabilizer. You can always rehoop a brand new piece of stabilizer if you feel more comfortable, and then you would just rerun this first box. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. You don't have to do all these steps where you're trying to save your stabilizer like me. Let's put this to the side, and I'm going to put a piece of scrap stabilizer on this so we can keep using it. And it's about to get fun. All right. And again, I'm just going to put it on the back side of the hoop just so I can smooth it down on the front really well. And that holds it really well, you guys. Yeah, I love doing that. All right, before we move on, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to trim this pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in at the bottom and I want to leave a tab of fabric. Again, I'm going to use these pinking shears because they make me feel better. And just around like that. And then the bottom here, I'm going to cut it like so. Just trim a little bit of excess off, but leave this tab. You guys see how I did that? Let me put you in the top down position because we're going to turn this right side out. And then we're going to need to cut some fabric for the hoop. So let's get this pocket situated. Actually, these little corners, I probably should trim those so that they turn nicely. Jan Burke, she is asking a great question. Jan, thank you for this. She says, can we get a hole in the pants for the tail to go through? I think that's a great idea. I have actually been trying to figure out how to do that. Every time I make an animal, I know that a lot of them have tails like our lion. So I guess I could do an applique circle. What do you guys think? What do you think would be a good way of achieving that? Because I have a tendency to want to do seams, you know, like seams for clothing, which would involve overlapping some things. But I've turned it right side out, and now I'm gonna tuck those little openings or the little flaps inside the opening. And you don't have to use anything to close that up. We're gonna come back to this in a minute. I'm gonna set this to the side with our little pieces over here for the overalls. Now, I have, there's a pre-cut piece of fabric you need for the overalls. And we are going to make the tall overalls, and I need a piece of fabric that is 10 inches by 15 inches. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my cutting mat out for you guys. And I am not a precise person, so forgive me for doing this wrong. I'm gonna use this side. We're gonna need 2 pieces. So 1 to 10, I'm gonna cut 11 just to give myself plenty. I don't want to run out because that would be worse. I'm just gonna cut it like so. And then I think I said 15 inches. So this is 20, yeah, my brain ain't gonna do that number. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it all the way up like this. All right, now I need 15 inches this way. I know you guys can't see this. Let me zoom you out just a bit. Okay, now you can see what I'm doing. 15 inches. Like I said, I'm not gonna get out rotary cutters or anything. I'm gonna give myself a little bit extra. Like I said, it's much better to waste a little bit of fabric than to not have enough. And then I'm just now going to use this piece as a template to cut this second piece. Almost done. All right, we're gonna put that to the side. This is all the fabric that we need. Now I don't know where I put my hoop. Here it is. Okay, let's get this back out. Okay, you guys. So now we have these 2 big, gigantic pieces of fabric, like so. So what we're going to do is we're gonna take one of them. I'm trying to determine, does this fabric have a direction? It does. So you see all these little leaves are going up. I wouldn't want to do it like this. So yeah, I think I need to do it like so. And I'm going to spray some spray adhesive on the top side of the stabilizer here, just so my fabric has something to hold on to for dear life. And then I'm going to overlap this top line. I'm letting my stabilizer, if my head gets in the way, you guys, I'm sorry. We're going to let the excess fabric hang over the edge. And we're going to come up here and just make sure that we have about a 1/2 inch overlapping the top line, like so. And then I'm going to smooth it out. I'm also going to tape it. We want to be extra careful. So Sally says, for the tail hole, could you do the same style you did with the diaper for Mina Monkey? So yeah, that one was a, I think I did an applique circle for that. But yeah, it kind of needs something, doesn't it? Because some of these animals, they have tails and their poor little tails are stuck in their pants. And we can't see their cute little tail. All right, you guys, that was a good question. Thank you, Sally. Here's our fabric. You see how we have it hanging down here at the bottom? That's what we want. Now, if you're transporting to the hoop, you could always temporarily, fold your fabric up like this so you can get it to the hoop. And then go ahead and put it on your hoop and then unfold your fabric. And we're going to stitch some placement lines. All right. That was a good question and good suggestion. The buttonhole type, yes. Let's see. Magda also asked, will the clothes fit the Abby doll? So no, our Abby doll, she's a different size altogether because her head, I don't know. I guess if you could try it, you might have to use a different hoop size for clothing. It's possible some of the clothes might fit her, like maybe some of the dresses. But something like the overalls, I would be cautious in assuming. So I would say no, but experiment if you want to. So that was a good question. Libby Gay says, do you use SF 101 on your cotton fabric to give it some stability? I just learned about that, you guys. So, yeah, I was watching Becky Power Tools with Thread, her live stream the other morning, and I saw where she was talking about SF100, and I guess it's a new product that's come out to me because I haven't really kept up with stuff like that. But yeah, it's apparently some kind of stabilizer, kind of similar to your heat and bond. I don't use it, but you could. And I think does it not help prevent with fraying of your fabrics? Is that right? Let me know. And you guys, when Libby answers that question, remind me to go back and address her again. So say, Becca, look at Libby. So don't let me get away with that. All right. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's zoom you in. Can you see these two little boxes right here at the top? I might be able to zoom you guys in just a teeny bit more. All right. These boxes right here. We're going to take our straps and we are going to tape them over the boxes. Like so. I just center it on the box. Ta-da. All right. Now our next thing we're going to do is we are going to go to the hoop and tack those down. I'm going to use that brown thread so you guys can see. All right. Looking at, okay. Let's see, Yikes to You, she asked me, what weight stabilizer do you use? So I use medium tearaway for just about every project. And if I am doing something on a knit fabric, then I'm going to use a medium cutaway too. Or actually the no-show mesh is what I use for most of my knit fabrics. That was a good question. Thank you. Tracy Bennett says, do you have many boy clothes? I have a bunch of grandsons. So I hear you. I think I have a tendency to create more for the girls than I do for the boys, but I'm trying to change that. I will definitely consider our young men. I have some projects coming up that's going to be great for the boys, especially at Christmas time. All right, you guys, I have tacked that down. Now, there is another piece of fabric that we need for this hooping, okay? And that's what these lines over here are for. And I'm going to use a piece of fabric that is contrast to our white or to our fabric. Now, you would normally want to use the same fabric for your overalls for the whole project, okay? But because I'm teaching and I want you guys to be able to see really well, I'm going to use, this is your liner for your overalls, and the size of the piece that you need is going to cover the box to this line. So about half of that box, and I forgot to cut that. But I'm just going to cut a piece of fabric about this big. It's going to be the same width and then maybe an inch lower. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces of that so I don't have to go back and do it later. Let me go ahead and get that. And again, I'm using white so you guys can see really good what I'm up to. I'm going to eyeball it. Okay. Here's those 2 pieces. All right. I'm just going to put this piece of fabric, this is going to be right side down, right sides together. So I'm just going to put it like so. It's going to sandwich our little tabs here. If you want to make it easier on yourself, you can cut your fabric a little closer just so you don't have all that excess. And I think I actually will. I'm just going to go ahead and cut both of them. That way, I just got to do it the one time. And I'm going to eyeball this again. I'm going to cut it about to here. Do you guys ever use weird things to measure like me? Sometimes if I can't find my tape measure, I'll use a piece of string to measure things. I'm just cutting a line across with the pinking shears because this is going to be exposed on the inside of your overalls. So you can put the little pinked line there. And like I said, it don't have to be perfect. It's not going to be seen. It's going to be inside the overalls, but I'm just going to put it like that, okay? So around where the line is. It doesn't have to be directly on the line, but in that ballpark, like so. And we're going to tape that in place. Now, we are going to go back to the machine and stitch a tack down line. It's also going to stitch a basting stitch, which I'll show you what that is for in just a minute. Let's look at your questions. Laura says the SF101 gives good stability for bag making. So is it a thick material? Like is it foam or is it more like an interfacing, Laura? So Gretchen, she says fraying, and if there's a lot of satin stitches, it helps with puckering. Okay, so it's a stability type of material. So coming back to Libby, so Libby says, yes, ma'am, it does help with fraying and it irons on. I use it mostly for applique. So you guys, is this a replacement for the Heat and Bond Light? You guys get the SF101 instead of Heat and Bond Light, or when would you guys use it over the other? Let me know. Even if I don't come back to it right now, I will definitely read it later. So. I'm reading you guys' comments. All right. I'll come back to those. You guys can see my little outline here. What this does is it gives a finished look to the top of your overalls, so it doesn't have fabric that's exposed. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but there is a basting stitch. Let me zoom you guys in. Do you see this basting stitch right here? We're going to do something weird in a minute, so just trust me, okay? Let's untape this. This is the hardest part of this, if you can even call it that. This is not really a hard project. It's just this part of the hooping has more steps. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it up. We're just gonna take this whole thing and we're gonna allow it to catch on that line. And my machine is not the, it does not like to do single stitches, you guys. So I'm going to just, I can see where it's coming loose right here. If I did it as a stronger stitch, you wouldn't be able to remove it later. So just know that it's my machine that's messed up. Just wanted you to know that. But we're just going to smooth the fabric and allow it to catch on that basting stitch. Like so. And we're just going to tape it really well. Okay. Now you'll see that the excess, you're looking at the back of your fabric and the excess is over here now. So I'm just going to fold it just for a minute right here, just so I can get it to the embroidery machine. And we're going to put it in here. We're going to do a giveaway in just a minute when we finish this hooping. All right, we're going to do another basting stitch. So this is the second basting stitch. Let me explain why there's basting stitches. So when we made our lion last week, what determines the finished size of our lion is from the top of the head to the bottom of the body and the width. So I max out your hoop size to fit the biggest lion I can fit in there. And my what I have to stay within is, you know, the width and the height of the lion minus the legs. when I'm making doll clothes, I need those clothes to fit baggy. You know, they need to be able to be easy to put on for little kids when they're dressing their dolls. And I can't fit the overalls in the hoop that, you know, whatever this size is, I could not do that in the same hoop because the overalls would be too tight. So while you made your elephant or your lion, you know, up and down, we make the clothes side to side because we need the width. This is the width of our clothes. So we need these to be big and baggy to go on our animals. So I have to turn the hoop. And when I do that, we still need to make something like overalls. So we need to be able to fit all that fabric in the hoop in the least amount of hoopings as possible. I know that's a complicated answer to that, why it's done this way, but you'll see how it works. All right, now here is the second basting stitch. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see that. Now we are going to spray a little adhesive here, just a bit, and we are going to fold it the other way. So you guys see it's catching on this basting stitch. We're using the stitches, and I'm just going to smooth it down like so, and we are going to tape it in place. It's like origami, but for fabric. Okay, here is what it looks like now. Now we go back to the embroidery machine. Let me look at this because I don't have the instructions in front of me yet. And I want to make sure I am making this correctly. Let's see. There's 2 lines at the bottom. So one allows you to add a cuff. That's what it was. We're going to skip the cuff line. So you could actually have a strip of fabric that you fold in half. You would just fold a little strip of fabric, like you were going to make bias binding or something. And then you would just stitch. There's a line there that you can stitch as a guideline. You could then lay that folded piece of fabric on the line, and then it would create a cute little cuff on the bottom of the overall. So we're going to skip that tonight. So we want to make this as easy as possible for new beginners. Now, here is where we are now. We are almost done with this hooping, and we're going to be having a giveaway in a minute, but we have to finish this last part, which is the bottom of our overalls. And I'm going to trim away some of this fabric because I made my fabric very long. And I'm just going to use the edge of my hoop as a guide. I'm just going right along the edge of the hoop, like so. And here is how I like to do it. So what we're trying to do here is we want to fold this under, and then we want the fold to touch the line. So what I do to accomplish this is I just start on one side, and I just make sure that one side, I'm just rolling the fabric under until I feel like it's perfectly touching the line as best as I can get it. And you want to make sure everything is still smooth. And I'm going to put a piece of tape right here. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. So you can see I'm just rolling the fabric to the back. This is a little tedious, but it makes it look like real clothes. I could just, if it was made out of felt, you guys, it would be a lot easier. But I do want it to look like a seamstress made these beautiful clothes for these animals. I think it just really adds that special touch. So now I have taped this side and this side. So now all I have to worry about is the middle. So I'm just going to, you see what I'm doing? I'm just adjusting the fabric, and it's going to touch that bottom line. And it pretty much does it on its own once you get those 2 corners. And we're going to put some pieces of tape. Not too difficult, huh? Okay. Now, here is what our overalls look like now. How can these be overalls? I know what you're thinking. I can read your mind. Stick with me. The magic is coming. All right, let me get this stitched. Now, I'm going to use white thread this time, you guys. I think that you'll be able to see it better on the fabric, and it'll look nicer on the outfit. Because we're going to do a little photo shoot of our line and put it on Facebook and YouTube so that you guys can see how it all turned out. Does that sound like fun? Yes, Libby, Becky with Power Tools, she's amazing. She explains things so well and she's so down to earth. I love Becky. Let's see. Gretchen says Parker on the Porch is a good one to follow as well for bags and totes. Yes. She does beautiful bags and totes. She does a great job digitizing those. I like her stuff, and I like her color palette. It's very cheerful. All right. Now, let's take a look at this now. Here we are. Let me get you guys down here. Here is that line that just stitched at the bottom. This is our little hem. So I'm going to remove the tape, and guess what? We are done with this hooping, you guys. I'm going to trim this fabric, and we are having a giveaway. So what I would like for everyone to do is I want everyone to type in #midnight to enter the giveaway for tonight. And it's going to be, if you're wondering what the prize is tonight, it is going to be a giveaway of the doll jersey, pacifier, a bunch of doll joints, faux fur to make your wig, and a doll needle. So you just want to enter that #midnight. Go ahead and do that while we are getting everything ready for this giveaway. I'm going to get these out of the hoop so that we can keep moving. This tape is always hard for me to get. #midnight. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm literally just going to peel this out of the hoop like so. Before I cut and completely remove this, so I have peeled up the bottom, I'm going to just snip these little basting stitches just in a couple of places. They won't leave visible holes on your fabric, and if they do, you can just rub the fabric and it'll come out. My eyesight is so bad. I was telling my husband the other night, I'm going to have to get stronger glasses, I think. Or maybe I'm getting to where I can't see close up either. Freya, are you being a good girl? Freya's being so good, you guys. I know this is super boring, but bear with me. We just have to get these basting stitches. You can also get to it from, let me zoom out just a tad. You can get to your basting stitch like this, and you'll see how it starts coming loose. I just find it's easier to do this while the fabric is still on the hoop before you remove everything. All right, there is one basting stitch, and then we can just come up underneath the hoop and get this second one real fast and easy. And that just made sure that our overalls are precisely made with no human error. That's why those basting stitches are there, because we're folding the fabric, and that is what is creating the length that we need to do something as complex as you know, complex looking as these overalls. So I'm just looking, I got all my fabric. I'm just rubbing the line here to remove the stitches. All right, now I'm gonna peel this up out of the hoop, you guys. We're gonna trim it and have that giveaway. Make sure you enter hashtag midnight. All right. Here is what our first hooping looks like. See, not a lot going on, just a few tack down lines, really. So I hope that this is helping to understand how these things go together. And I'm going to go ahead and remove all the stabilizer. Okay, let's set that aside. I'm going to hoop a new piece of stabilizer. We're going to have that giveaway. We're going to use the new giveaway wheel. And I forgot to pre-cut my stabilizer for you guys tonight. I'm really sorry about that. I know we're going to need... I'm going to go ahead and get what I need. All right, that should be it. Yeah, I just want to get the machine going again so that I'm not wasting time for you guys. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and get that stitching. While it's stitching, let's do our giveaway. So again, here's the prize for tonight. If you're just joining us, you're going to want to enter hashtag giveaway. Oh my goodness, look at all those names. Look at your beautiful names in the wheel. Let me get my paper here so I can write the winners. All right, I'm just going to give y'all another minute or two, because there is a little bit of a delay. All right, I am getting ready to spin the wheel. So we have 116 names. Here we go. Let's see who wins tonight. I'm excited. Who's it gonna be? Tracy McAllister. Tracy McAllister, congratulations. You won the doll kit. It's an amazing gift, and I hope that you find something beautiful to make with it, even if it's not one of our dolls. Tracy, congratulations. So Tracy, what I'd like for you to do is you will just contact me after you're done watching the live stream tonight, and you will contact me within 7 days, include your YouTube profile name, and include your max hoop size so that I can make sure I get you the right size pacifier. Congratulations. So that was our first drawing tonight. All right. You guys are being so patient with me. I have had a week. I feel just drained. Okay, we're going to trim this up. So what I'm going to do is use my pinking shears. And we're just going to trim this. Sometimes these pinking shears are hard for me to use. They hurt my hands. I wish they were sharper than they were. Okay, so now it looks like this. I am just going to turn this right side out. So we are turning the lining to the back side of our fabric. You guys see how I did that? Let me get rid of this tape. And I'm just going to take something here, maybe these scissors will work, and poke it at the corners. But yeah, if you had that SF101, I think it would work really good if you wanted to use fabrics and not have to worry about them getting frayed. Okay, you guys, I am going to reach over here and get my iron heating up because we're going to need that. And let me just take a peek here. So this is the back of the overalls that we just made. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just rolling my fabric and making sure that everything is turned nicely. And then we're going to iron this and put it to the side. The next hooping is pretty quick. Okay. Sometimes what I like to do, let me see if I got some pins here. I just use these little straight pins and stick them in my felt pad. It makes it so much easier than burning my fingers. Do you guys have a little trick like that that I can read about? Let me know. Do you have something that helps you iron things so you don't burn yourself? This is all I could come up with. All right, so now I got it all pretty good looking. Now I'm just going to iron in between those pins. And that is it. Easy peasy. I still need to get that cute little iron that my mama got me and use that. Hey Freya, are you being a good girl? You being a good girl, mama? Okay, you guys, here is the back side of the overalls. The back inside. So this is the back of our overalls. Now we're going to make the front. And it's going to be almost exactly the same way with a little change. We have that pocket, right, that we made earlier. Let's go ahead and iron the pocket. So I tucked in that little tab like so. And I'm just going to iron it. You don't have to sew that shut or anything. I'll show you how that works in just a minute. Watch out. All right, here's our little pocket. Let me put this to the side. Freya is being a good girl, you guys. All right, here is part 2. So now we are making part 2. Here's those lines again. So you guys have already seen how this works. We are going to take our other piece of fabric, which is right here for me. Nope, that's my big fabric. Let's see here. Right here. Here we go. Make sure I have the print direction on the fabric going the right way. Remember, with the yellow leaves going up. And then I'm just going to spray some adhesive like so. Just so my fabric doesn't get squirrely whirly on me. And again, for the second time, we're going to take our fabric and overlap that topmost line by 1/2 inch. And you see our little notches here on the side. So we're going to smooth that really well in place. And I'm going to also tape it. Imagine all the super cute fabric you guys could use. You could use sweater knit, like someone was talking about jersey earlier tonight. You could use fleece, minky to make this. I mean, there's so many options. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take this to the hoop and we're going to stitch the placement line for that pocket. I'm going to stitch it in white. I think you guys will be able to see that better. Okay. I'm looking at you guys' questions. You use the pins when you iron. Oh, good. I'm not the only one that uses the straight pins. Well, I'm doing it right, I guess. If you guys do it, then I'm doing it right. Okay. All right, we have our little outfit here, little pocket outline. Let me zoom it in. All right, I know this is kind of hard to see, but here is our pocket outline. So it comes just this little white line that comes here. Kind of hard to see. What we're going to do is we're going to take this pocket. It doesn't matter which side. I like this one better. And I am just going to place it so, and it's okay if I mark on this, you guys. Don't freak out, okay? I would rather you see than to not know what I'm doing here. I will deal with the ink later. So here is where the stitching starts and stops. It went bloop around. So we're going to take this pocket and we're going to make it to where it is centered over this box and it almost touches those lines. So just get it as centered as you can. Like so. And then we're going to tape it in place. We're making a real pocket, you guys. Not no applique here. We are doing the real thing. This doll is stylish with real pockets because girls like their pockets. All right. Here's what that pocket looks like. We're going to go to the machine and stitch a tack down line. Now I'm going to use white thread so that it looks decent. So Juanita asked me, did you make more parts for the Princess Castle? I have been printing that on my 3D printer. And I'm actually going to talk about the 3D printer just a little bit tonight and show you guys. Would you guys like to see the doll joints that I have been designing? You want to see what I've made so far in some of my tests? Let me know if that interests you, and we will talk about that in just a little bit. I'm going to go down here. Do you see this? This is the top of our, the back of our overalls that we made earlier. It's got this really big flap down here on the bottom. I'm just going to trim it with pinking shears real quick, just across the bottom to remove the excess. I saw that I needed to do that. There we go. It's not pretty, but you could take your time and do a neater job, or you could double turn that hem over so that you wouldn't have that raw edge. But here is what it should look like. Yeah, let me know if you guys would like to see my test doll joints that I printed and where the progress I am making on those. All right, so here is our pocket. Do you see what it did? So it came and it stitched on the inside. So as long as you align your pocket with the box, it's going to come and then do the tack down farther in on the pocket so that it's secure. So now our beautiful baby doll has real pockets. You could put a little piece of candy in there, or a surprise, or a secret note. All kinds of fun things. I'm just removing that tape. Okay. So now the next step is to take that lining piece, just like we did on the back of the overalls, that liner, and we are going to do the same thing for this. So I am going to take this fabric. Here's our lines. Let me extend them just a bit so you guys know exactly where they are and what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to take that pinked edge and I'm just going to put it in the ballpark of those little notches, and we're going to tape that in place. This is going to go so fast tonight. We're going to be done here soon, guys. There's only a few more hoopings, and it's like, I think the whole entire overalls is made in 23 color stops, and we are on number 15. So we are moving along. Okay, now we have that second piece of fabric. It goes right side down, and we're going to stitch the tack down line. You guys, tell me if you've ever seen anybody make clothing like this. And is this something unique that you've seen? Do you like how I'm able to design clothing for you guys to make in the hoop? let me know. Tammy, she has a cute comment. She says a felty animal would be cute sticking out of the pocket. It sure would. You could do all kinds of little baby, you know, some of our animals come with the little mini babies. I wonder if the mini babies could fit in that pocket. I'm not sure. And then I saw a comment up here. So Mario Kiddo, she says, yes, please. She's talking about the doll joints. And she says, would you be selling the doll joint 3D files once you get them finalized? So the bad news is I will not be selling those files. The good news is I will be giving them away for free. So what I will do is I will make them available on makerworld.com. And the file will already, it'll be set up to where you can literally just go in on your phone and print you some doll joints if you want to. And it'll already be all set up so there is no friction for you to print you some doll joints. I'm going to be putting them on Maker World and they will be for free. So not charging you guys anything for those. All right. And here is what we have now. Let's look at it. So we got that basting stitch, and here is the tack down line that creates that beautiful top to our overalls. I'm gonna loosen this tape down here, and here's that basting line, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna what? Flip it up, let it catch on the fabric. Again, my machine does not like stitching through one layer of fabric. She gets very upset if I do that. And she doesn't want to stitch. So I'm just going to tape really well. Okay, now I'm going to do this side. And I'm just going to, sorry you guys, this camera doesn't want to zoom smoothly. All right, I'm just gonna tack it back like that, just so I can get it to the hoop. And here is our excess fabric. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get it on the hoop, but I'm going to then unfold it. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing over here very well, but I did unfold that excess fabric. And we are gonna stitch the next tack down line, which is the second basting stitch. So Kathleen, she says, would it work if you rolled the back bottom hem under? Then you wouldn't need to trim it. Right. You could like double roll it, just like you would do if you were really hemming a garment. So if you're better at that stuff than me, yeah, you could certainly do that. Let's see here. Oh, there's so many comments. So Gretchen says, what is Maker World? Maker World is a website where you can find 3D printed or 3D designs to print on a 3D printer. There are a lot of websites that offer this too, where you can go and find things to print on your 3D printer, but I don't trust them because there's a lot of inappropriate content on there. A lot of not safe for work kind of things, and I don't want to support a community that has things like that. Maker World is very strict in making their website super family friendly so that you don't get any nasty surprises when you're trying to find something to 3D print. But it is owned by Bamboo Labs, and you can, they just make things that are available for you to print on a 3D printer. So that's where I'll put it, because then you'll be able to easily access, or anybody that you wanted to hire to print a bunch of doll joints for you, they could also find it really easily. So I'm going to show you guys those in just a minute. Let's look at this. We got our second basting stitch here. And now we're going to fold the fabric over. You guys are giving me such sweet compliments. I don't deserve them. All right, I'm gonna spray, you know what? I'm not. Okay, this is the part where we actually need to, what was I gonna say? Oh, we gotta do the hem at the bottom. So just like I did earlier, I'm allowing the fabric to catch on that line, you guys. I'm smoothing it down, okay? What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try the double hem method and let's see how it works. You guys wish me luck because I'm terrible at stuff like this. But I do have an idea. It might just take me a minute. Let me make sure my iron is hot because I might need the iron for this. So just like before, let's see here. How much do we got? So we're looking at we got about an inch between the bottom line of the box. Let me actually remove this cutting mat, you guys. It's so ugly and I can't see the lines. And I know you guys, is that better? I hope that's better. Good grief. All right, so now you can see the line. So it's about an inch past. So what I could do is I could just finger press this over about 1/2 inch, okay? All I'm doing is just that edge. And that is going to, let me think about this. Am I doing this right? I gotta think about this. All right, so ultimately what we want to do is fold it and fold it, right? 2 folds. Let's see if I can get it to be on that bottom line. Yep, I can get it on the bottom line. I think that'll be okay. Let's see what happens, you guys. Try something new. So I just finger pressed it. So I do have something for reference here. And I'm just gonna fold it under twice, basically, right? Now let's get this side over here. It just gets my brain confused when I do that. So you guys, if you don't want to do it this way, it's okay. It'll still turn out super cute. Okay, I got it on the line right here. Like I said, once you get that corner and this corner done, it becomes so much easier. I'm going to make sure this is really taped good on this side. Okay, and I feel the fabric is not double folded here, so I'm going to try and maneuver it. I don't know, you guys. It might not turn out. I think if you ironed your fabric first and got yourself a good line to go by, I'm having a hard time getting it double folded, you guys. So it's probably messed up on the back. We'll see in a minute. Okay. While this is stitching, I'm going to show you guys our customer creations, and then we will talk about the doll joints if you want to. All right, I have that all done. Can you guys see what I got? It's basted up here. The fabric's folded down. I double folded it the best I could, but I can tell it's not right. Okay. Let's get this back on the machine. I can't wait to share what you guys have been making this week. You guys have been busy. Okay. Are you ready for this? Let me start back at the beginning so nobody look. Actually, we'll just start back where, okay. I just got to read my names backwards here. Let me get my list. Okay. So the first project that I wanted to share, these are all from our Facebook group, you guys. So these are things that you guys have made. And I look at everything you guys make. I pop into the Facebook group a couple times a week and just look in awe of all the things you guys are busy doing. But this is Kathy Shin. She made our mermaid doll. It's her first time making it. And she also made the matching dolphin. What I really love about her project is look at all the different color yarn that she used in the hair. Is that not amazing? I just love how she did that. I mean, even the white and the light brown, the dark brown, it just makes it look like a natural colored mermaid hair. It's so pretty. And I love the gold too, the little gold stars on her chest. That turned out super precious. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing that with everybody. And then we also have, so Susanna Rios, she also made the lion this past week. So she followed along in the live stream and she made her own. And just look how precious she gave her paw, or she gave her lion the minky type paws. So I thought that was a unique twist on things. So she used a fuzzier fabric on the hands and the legs. It's so cute. And the little pink nose too. And the expression. So that one is the closed eyes. It kind of looks like a smile eye. It's nice to see the other faces, isn't it, you guys? Thank you, Susanna. And then this one is by Dawn Pollock. So she made her first Elodie baby. And what she did was she went and got 18-inch girl or American Girl doll kind of clothes. And that's what she put on her baby. But just look at the pink hair. I think it even has a little bit of blue in it. And it's like her hair matches the dress like absolutely perfectly. But for her first doll, is that not gorgeous? I think she made a second one too, but I didn't get to take a picture of that and share it. I'm sorry about that, Dawn, but we'll get you next time. And then we have Tegan Campbell. So she also made her first Elodie. And I just love that pinky purple hair. You guys, you know how I feel about that. But I think for her first time, I mean, I love the Dana eyes that she picked. And it's really scary to start and make something for the first time like that. And she just dove in and did it. And I'm proud of you. Proud of you, Tegan. And keep going because you obviously have a good thing going. And then I thought that this was really special. So Nikki Craig, she, I can't read the text on the photo. You guys can read it better than me, but I know it said something about this vintage lion that was very loved. And I'm not sure if it was by her or someone else, but it was like this beloved toy that's falling apart. And she recreated it with the Leanna lion. And I love how she gave it everything matches, you know, so she did the light pink body with the dark pink hair and she used fleece, it looks like, for the mane. So that was a unique material to use, just showing you all the different kinds of ways that something can be made. And what a precious project too. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that with us, Nikki. And then I didn't get the name on this one, but I do have her name. It's Sarah Nawan. So Sarah made a bunch of the little horsies that we have on the website. And she's got all the little matching clothes. She's got the dresses and the shorts, and she's got the little overalls too. But look how she did a little horseshoe on the pocket of her horse. Is that not precious? And she's got a lot of the face options too. So that horse, I think it's Harriet horse is the name of the design. It comes with the diamond and a heart on the forehead. It comes with a horn, so you can make a unicorn version. And then it has the muzzle. So you can do it with or without the muzzle. So she really did a great job of showing all the different ways that a horse can look. And I believe her daughter or granddaughter, and I'm not sure which one she said, she made it for someone. And I thought that was really precious. And then Crystal Grabber, she also made a Leanna lion, and she did hers out of Pima cotton, or I'm sorry, Kona cotton. She made hers out of Kona cotton, and she used Minky for the mane. But hers turned out perfect too. And I like how she puts her name in the side seam. I would like to start doing that on my designs too. It just looks so professional. And she's got good ideas. So hers turned out really good. And I see she blushed the cheeks too. Now, I told you guys that we were going to talk about the doll joint. So I wanted to go ahead and show you in the 3D Blender software. I made a couple different versions. So as you can see, this is what I designed first in Blender. And I printed these in resin. I used to have a resin printer, and these kinds of things do not work well when printed in resin. Resin is an awesome kind of printer. It has a lot of detail, and you don't see those lines, you know, the layer lines that you see on things that are 3D printed. Resin doesn't have that, but it's so brittle. It's not a good material to print doll joints from. But nonetheless, so there's something unique about this photo. So why does the doll joint have a slot in the middle? And it's what I wanted to do was make a doll joint that you could remove if you wanted to. Let's say you are testing a design like me. I'm often prototyping, and I feel really bad about throwing away doll joints. They're not exactly, you know, super cheap, but wouldn't it be nice if you could remove the doll joint? So you'll see at the top of the doll joint post, it has a slit down the middle, and the idea was so you could take a pair of pliers and pinch that post so you could slide the locking disc off. So that's what I was trying to do. And then I called them doll snaps. So I actually gave them a name. And then this morning I went ahead and did another version in Tinkercad, and I made them purple. And one of the things I didn't have in the first go round was the size. But it still has that slot in the doll joint. And this version, you can't tell, but I gave it, and let me switch back over to, I actually have my 3D printer bed right here beside me. And it has today's print. So I printed out my doll joints so you guys could see. They're still stuck to the plate. So I'm gonna let you guys see these up close. So these are my test prints. Let's just pop them off of the, this is just the, I don't even know what you call this, the cooling plate. But yeah, they just peel off. And when I test things like this, I obviously need to test the thickness. I wanted to make the doll joints thicker, or I'm sorry, thinner than they already are, because I feel like they're so thick. But whoops, I lost a piece. No, well, you guys, that piece is gone. It's somewhere under my desk. Okay, let's look at these doll joints. So this version, what I did, here's the post, and it has two little notches on the side here. So you could grab it with pliers, and you can remove it if you need to. And these are PLA. This is not the right material to use for doll joints though. PLA is brittle. So I'm going to be testing other materials like nylon. And I dropped the washer, you guys, but this is the flat washer that would go on top, right? And then there would be a locking disc. And like I said, you see how much shorter that is? Let me see if I have a doll joint, a regular doll joint somewhere. I find it hard to believe that I don't have one. You guys, let me grab you a doll joint so you can compare. Hey, Mama. And I actually might even have, let's see. I have some fabric in the way over here. All right, so here is what a normal doll joint looks like. This is the part that matters to me. Let me get you guys back down. You see how long that post is? That is a very long post, and I don't like that to be felt. So I made it shorter because there's always so much left over. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make the post shorter and fatter with that slit where you could pinch it, and then you would be able to pull off, you know, the locking disc that went on it. So that was one version. But there's also another thing I don't like about doll joints. This one I put the sizes on, so I don't know if you guys can see. Let me zoom in. I think I'm zoomed in as much as I can. Do you see it says 35 millimeter? So I did put the size, and I also did holes in it, and let me explain why. In order to make doll joints safer, I wanted to have holes to where you could literally stitch the doll joint to the head or the arms or the leg. I think I'm going to put 2 holes in each side. So it would be like a button kind of, you guys. And you could sew this on so that it could not come out of the doll. So that's what those little holes are that I added. And then let's look at the side profile. So you can see it has the little slit, and look how flexible that is. But like I said, this is the wrong material. The goal is that you could flex this, and here's the locking disc. Let's actually try it. Let's see if it works. So here is the washer. Remember, here's our doll joints. Look at the thickness difference. So this is quite heavy and quite thick. And then here we have our little washer that would slide on. And I haven't tested this, you guys, so I don't know what's going to happen. But you would put this on. Oh my goodness, it works. And you would snap it. And now this might break. We'll see what happens. And it squeezed it together. So like I said, that's what testing is for, and it did break. So that's one of the downsides to PLA. So there are other things that you can get that are like this kind of plastic. I just didn't have any of that on hand. So yeah, and I did want to test that one too. But this is polyethylene. So I have worked with manufacturers and know a lot about the doll joints. Polyethylene is a very shiny and very strong plastic. It's very similar. It would bend, it would not snap. I hope that makes sense. And then this is PLA, and it is a hard plastic, and it's not meant to flex. But there are filaments for 3D printers that are made to be flexed and that are strong and can withstand something like this. So let me just try this other one. I'm going to take the second washer. And like I said, when I get it right and I figure out the right material to use, so I'm going to, you guys see how it works. I'm learning a lot. So what I can see is I made this hole too small. I think that's what the problem is. And it doesn't matter that the slit is in the middle because it already pinched it together. So those are the things that you learn from doing some engineering. I hope you guys learned a lot and appreciate understanding how things are made like that. So polypropylene or polyethylene is what doll joints are made out of. They're very strong and elastic. You could throw them and they would just bounce. No matter how hard you throw them, they would just bounce and they would never shatter. Whereas if I threw these over and over, they could shatter. But there are other filaments that you can use that are more like this. Like, for instance, nylon. You can print doll joints out of nylon and they are going to flex and not break. So that's what I need to test. And it looks like I need to go back to the drawing board and come up with some other technical, some tolerances and yeah, fine tune those. But I wanted to show you. So hopefully, you know they are coming, and there could be a day when you never have to pay for doll joints again, you guys, that you can just print them as you need them. And I hope that I can get that ready for you guys and implemented to help out. Let's get back to our project. Okay. It looks like what I did here was I printed the basting line. I'm actually going to go ahead and stitch the actual line, you guys. So I got sidetracked there. I'm so sorry for that. Like I said, when we finish this hooping, we are going to be having another giveaway. So why don't you guys go ahead and type #midnight if you haven't already. Katie, she says, they have all the sizes. You just use the post. You use just the post, doesn't fit. So, what I do know about sizes of doll joints are that they typically come in certain sizes And I would have all those sizes available, and there would also be new sizes like 25 millimeters, and how about a 40 millimeter and a 50 millimeter. So there's going to be more sizes that I make, and you would be able to fill up, you know, an entire build plate. You can imagine how many doll joints that you could fit on here, enough to do definitely several projects. But yeah, that's my cooling plate from my 3D printer. Okay. Let me see what I got going on over here. We have 2 more hoopings after this, you guys, but we only have 4 colors left. So we're almost done. All right. Here is that tack down line. Now I'm just going to remove all this from the hoop. I know the back of this is going to be messed up. The little cuff that I tried to turn under. Maybe you guys can think of a better idea. Okay, I want to zoom out just a bit so you guys can see a little more of my screen. So I'm just going to remove this, and it's going to take me a minute. So you guys have until I get this removed to enter hashtag midnight. So go ahead and make sure that you enter the giveaway for tonight. We are going to be having doll fabric. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to go there yet. I wanted to show you guys what we're having as a giveaway. So we have fabric and doll joints. We're just going to leave it on that. We're having doll joints that are not the ones I made, you guys, but the real ones. So doll joints, fur, doll needle, pacifier, doll fabric. So get ready for that giveaway. We have 135 names in there tonight. We're going to come back to the giveaway wheel in just a minute. That's what I wanted to show you guys. That's the giveaway for tonight. I wanted you to understand it. And then you guys make sure that you enter hashtag midnight while I'm getting this removed from the hoop. And all I'm doing is removing it, cutting those basting stitches like we did earlier. And almost got it. Oh, we have the pocket this time. So yeah, I'm going to have to use a little bit more care than I normally do. I'm just going to come in here, and it's always easier for me to do it from the back side, actually. Freya, are you being a good girl? You want to go play with Frodo? We have his daddy also lives with us, Bean's daddy. So see, you guys, look, it did mess up, but that's okay. I mean, there are other ways you could do it. You could turn this and you could iron it, and it probably wouldn't be a big deal, you know? So I just use pinking shears on mine. All right, I think I got all the basting stitches out. We're almost done getting this removed, and then we're doing that giveaway. So make sure you enter hashtag midnight. I'm just pulling this out of the hoop, and I'm going to get a new hoop, a new hooping and stabilizer lined up so that when we come back from the giveaway, we can get busy. Almost done. All right, you see what I did there? We'll trim that in just a minute. Hashtag midnight. Oz Looney Girl, she says, any chance of designing a pacifier for the 3D printer? The ones I have use a magnet glued on the outside, so they're not safe for kids. I could probably design a pacifier, but I want to be really careful with Honeybug, because I know that she worked really hard to copyright and patent, well, not copyright. She worked really hard to patent her pacifier that she makes. So, and she's a friend of mine, or I know her, not like friends, but she's an acquaintance, and I know, I'm amazed at what she's did, and I would want to respect her. So I probably would not do that, just out of respect for her. I hope you guys understand. But that was a good question. Let me get the machine stitching our next color while we do our giveaway. Four more colors. We're almost done with our overalls. All right. All right, let's get that giveaway wheel going. Let's see. We have 142 names. Oh my goodness. Let me get my paper so I can write down my winner. Hashtag midnight. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Let's see who wins. This is so exciting. It's like watching The Price is Right. Oh, Courtney Shaw. Courtney, congratulations. You won the doll kit. Now, this is going to remove your name from the drawing for the night, but you have won everything that we were talking about. And it doesn't matter where you guys live, by the way. I will ship that to you if you're in Antarctica or Australia or Canada. I know Canada, sometimes shipping can be quite expensive, but we have wholesale shipping prices. So we're able to ship to Canada for like $12. Australia's like $17. The UK is like maybe $20, if even that. So we are able to ship everywhere to you guys. So just wanted you guys to know that. Congratulations, Courtney. Make sure you contact me through the website. Let me get the rules pulled up. Contact me through the website within 7 days. Include your profile name and include your max hoop size. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys, this is part 3 of the overalls. Let me get you guys part 3. This is only 2 colors and we've already stitched 1. Now, one of the things we forgot to do, because I was yapping, is I need to trim this really fast. And there's another thing I want to do, but I don't have to do it just yet. So let me do this. Bear with me. We got to turn it right side out and we have to iron it. I'm going to go fast and do this because you guys have already seen me. Why don't I answer a few questions while I am ironing this and getting it ready for this hooping? Does that sound like a good plan to you guys? That way you don't have to watch me do this and it be boring. What can we talk about? All I'm doing is turning it right side out now. Let me get my iron heated up. And my little heating pad. You guys got any questions that I missed? Go ahead and tell me again. I'm going to use my little pins again. I'm looking for questions. You guys got any questions for me? What can I help with? Or what do I need to do better? What tape are you using? Okay, so Mario Kiddo, she says, what tape are you using? I use Scotch tape for everything, like the kind you wrap presents with at Christmas. Just because I use so much and it gets thrown away that when I'm prototyping, I'm going through lots of tape. So I would rather it just be that, a simple tape that is easy to remove for me. But yeah, I just use Scotch tape. That's a good question. Thank you. And let's see. Let's see. Thank you, Sue Smith. I appreciate that compliment. She says, I'm so thrilled that you figured out this video stuff. You are doing a great job. I appreciate that. Sometimes I feel like I screw up so bad. Like I felt awful the last time I finished up my last one. My last live stream last week. I miss things, you guys. You got to let me know whenever I miss things. Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking at all these. Okay, so let's see. Here's a good question, and let me get rid of that on my screen there. Ahura, Huron, she says, best advice for someone new to in the hoop and sewing in general. I love your designs. Best advice. The best advice I can give someone for starting to do in the hoop is to let yourself mess up. So grab fabric that you don't care about. And let's say you have a 6x10 hoop. I would say do a 5x7 design in your 6x10 hoop, and that will give you plenty of space in your hoop to tape things down. And just like I said, grab some fabric that you don't care about and try some designs. It doesn't have to be our stuff. There are lots of great designers out there. I'm not the only person. But I will say this, my goal is to have a free design for every episode of the Midnight Embroidery Show. And when I say that, not just live streams, but like pre-recorded videos where I actually create some kind of cinematic video that has music and cuts and B-roll. I want every video for our channel to have something free for the viewer. So there should be lots of things that you can get started with pretty soon that you can try out and not have to spend any money, but just be willing to fail and just give yourself some grace. And like I said, grab fabric you don't care about, a smaller hoop for your bigger hoop. So, you know, like I said, use a smaller design in your bigger hoop and just jump in and try it out and learn as you go. That's a great question. Thank you. Let's see here. I'll come back to that in a minute. I got to make sure I'm still moving along. What am I missing? Oh, I know what it was. Let me go back to this while I am figuring out where I am in the comments. So this is part 3. This actually creates our design, you guys. So what we're going to do is you'll see it has this outline. We need to line up our overalls with this outline only. You don't have to worry about the sides. So the sides are not important. The bottom is important, but only this corner and this corner, okay? So later on, this corner and this corner will be important, but just the stabilizer, not up here, okay? The only thing you need to worry about up here is this outline. What we're gonna do is we are going to take our, just one of the panels and just center it. It doesn't matter if it fits perfectly in the shape. And let me zoom you guys in just a little bit. So it's not going to fit perfect, but the thing I want to get right is the side to side. So I got the same amount on each side here. And then the curve is following that side. Let's go ahead and tape it as we go. And that way we won't mess it up. Like so. Over here, I'm going to align this side. I am going to have some simpler projects for you guys. Don't worry. These live streams, my goal is to have them an hour and a half. That's the goal. I'm learning as I go. All right. So what I've done here, let me zoom out just a teeny bit. I've gotten the first part of our overalls taped in place. I'm going to tape it a little more. Now we're going to take the other part and we're going to place it right side down. Also on top of the overalls. Now don't stress and freak out if you don't get this perfectly aligned. Just make sure that things are pretty centered in the middle. You know what I mean? And that it's probably more important that the top and bottom, like you really want it to match up right here and on the side seams. So I'm really feeling there and making sure they're directly on top of each other, and they are, and I'm going to tape. And I'm going to come over here to this side and I'm going to make sure they're directly on top of each other, and I'm going to tape. And I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of tape here and here. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to go back to the machine. You see how I have it? We have our panels right sides together. And I'm going to put it in the hoop and make sure nothing gets bumped out of the way. And we're going to stitch 2 tack down lines, but they're one color. So I'm going to do this in the dark brown. What it's going to do is it's going to stitch on each side of the tops of the overalls. Let's see if we have any questions. Let's see. My accent. So Ozlini girl, she says, "You're doing great. I do chuckle at your sweet accent, but growl whenever you put yourself down. Some people from around the world are watching you live at crazy times because you are so great at what you do." Oh, that's really sweet. That makes me feel good. Yeah, one of the reasons, you guys, why I do these live streams is because I was so self-conscious of my voice and seeing myself on camera. Like, I'm really, really shy and really introverted, believe it or not. I'm super introverted. So I figured the more live streams that I could do, the more comfortable I would become at seeing and hearing myself and just kind of getting over that. Getting over feeling like, oh, I hate how I sound. Oh, I hate how I look. And just doing live streams helps you to relax and be yourself. Whereas sometimes in a pre-recorded video where you are, editing the footage, you pick your best moments and you tend to speak like a robot, and that doesn't sound very natural. And it's teaching me that I think, because I know I appreciate it, I want someone to be really themselves when I'm watching them. Okay. Here is the lines on the sides of the bodies. The sides of the body right here on the overalls. So this is only part of it. So what are we going to do now? We are going to unhoop the stabilizer. But we are not going to remove the fabric from the hoop. So let's get this out. I know you guys are thinking, what in the world are we doing? Now, if you notice, the bottoms of our overalls they should be the same length. And what I have here, you can see the corners. We're going to leave everything the way it is, except for I am just going to trim just a little bit. Make sure you stay away from your corner. I'm just going to get some of this stabilizer away so we're not wrangling so much. Here we go. Just a little bit. Now we're going to get that last hooping, and it's like just a couple colors. It's like 3 colors and we're done. Now I know we just finished that giveaway. We just did a giveaway, you guys. But my promise is that we're going to do a giveaway every time we finish a hooping, and we just finished a hooping. So guess what? Time to do another giveaway. So make sure you guys enter #midnight. Go ahead and do that now while I'm getting this hoop all warmed up for us. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch. Let's see. Yes. My machine is being so good tonight. It hasn't popped a thread. Now watch, it's going to happen now. I've jinxed it. Let's hope not. So what we're going to be doing, the reason why we left the stabilizer on here is because we are going to be picking up in the next hooping where this left off. And I'm going to show you how that's done. This is a very common practice that you will see me do on our In the Hoop projects. And it's not that I am, trying to make things hard for you guys, but I want you to be able to make the biggest thing that you can make. That's why some of our dolls are done in multiple piecings. It's just I'm giving you that option. Like our new simple elephant that I made a size that's just made in one hooping, and then I made one that's made in 2 hoopings, but it's twice as big. So this is the technique that I use to help you make bigger things and interesting things in your hoop. So this is hoop number 4. I know you guys can't see it. We're gonna have the giveaway in just a minute. Oh my goodness, you guys, please do not let me forget to do a giveaway again. Stay on me about this. This is part 4, the last part. Now, I will say this. If you want your overalls to have elastic in the legs, go ahead and insert it now. I'm going to skip it tonight, but you would just take a safety pin and you would run it through both those little hems that you have at the bottom. Okay? We're going to skip that tonight. So what we want to do, the goal, and we're going to do the giveaway in a minute. We want to align this corner with this corner and this corner with this corner. So it'll go, you know, stabilizer side down, and we're going to align those corners. And that is going to allow us to keep stitching the overalls where we left off in the last hooping. I'm going to put some some spray adhesive on here. And then we are going to have our giveaway. Are you guys ready? Hashtag midnight. We are having a doll fabric and supply giveaway tonight. If you're just joining us, enter hashtag midnight and we are going to draw a winner right now. Let's see who we got. 148 names. And I am going to spin our wheel. Let me get my pen ready. Carol Stiles. Congratulations, Carol, you won. I am so happy for you. We have so many people in the wheel tonight. It's shocking. Congratulations, Carol. I'm going to show you how you can claim your gift. So she was removed from the wheel, you guys. Now there's 147 names. And let's go over here because I do need to show you how to claim your gift, Carol. You're going to contact me through the website within 7 days. Include your YouTube profile name and include your max hoop size. And I will get that sent out to you. Okay, I got that. Now we're having one more giveaway because we have 4 hoopings tonight. All right, and here is our hooping. I sprayed some adhesive. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to align, and I'm just going to turn this. You can use a straight pin to do this if you want to get it perfect. What you would do is you would just take one of your straight pins, and you could use, I like to use my mat, and you would just pierce where's that corner? It's right here. So I find the corner. You just focus on the stabilizer, you guys. You don't have to focus on the fabric, so it can move out of your way. So you can see, right, your stabilizer. And then you would just put it in. I have a hard time doing the pins, but just know you can use the pins if you want to. I'm not. What I like to do is this. I flip it up just like so. And get me a solid surface. I'm flipping it up and I'm looking at the stabilizer. So I'm just going to zoom in just a tiny bit so you can see. I am looking at the line and the arrows in the corners. And I'm just going to pinch it right there and right there. And what I do is I just lay it now on the hoop. And I get it. Actually, it needs to go up here, you guys. Oh my goodness. I almost messed up. Man, I would have been in trouble. It would have been all for nothing tonight if I would have done that. Thank goodness. Okay, so let me explain. Okay, I almost messed up. That is why this hooping has this little notch up here in the corner. It's trying to tell you, use this corner here. So, oh, I'm so glad I didn't mess that up. I almost did. See, you guys, sometimes I make mistakes. All right, so let's get back down. So yes, what I like to do is flip it up so I can see the line on the stabilizer. And now I can perfectly align it. I do this with every single thing I do. And now I'm just going to press it right there because I did spray adhesive, and you really just want to focus on this stabilizer. Just make sure that this is aligned and everything else will work out, because the fabric is attached to the stabilizer. The fabric can move and stretch, but stabilizer does not. So that's why I always say focus on that stabilizer layer whenever you are aligning projects like this. That is what's going to make it turn out absolutely perfect. So now that I've got that really good and smooth, right? Everything is in the hoop. All right, and that layer is secure. I'm going to spray a little bit more adhesive, and we're going to bring the next layer down. And it should touch the line or about touch the line. You guys don't lose it if your stuff is not perfectly aligned at the bottom. And then we are going to bring the second piece of fabric right side down. And if you want to, I mean, it's okay. What's more important is that your fabrics align. So just make the fabrics align. If they don't, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. If it is not perfectly aligned, it's probably only going to be like a 1/16 of an inch, a tiny amount. And sometimes you can fudge it and make them align, and sometimes you can't. But that's what we're going to do. We've got it all taped down, all glued down. And now we are going to go and we are going to stitch the last color step, which is going to be in a couple pieces, and I'll explain that. So I said that you could put elastic in these little cuffs at the bottom. And so what you would do is you would have the elastic coming out of the cuffs. I'm going to fold this like so and get it on the machine. And then I'm just going to guide those extra pieces. And here's a tip for you guys. You can always rotate your hooping to face you or to not be facing the arm of the machine, or whatever obstacle is in your way on your machine. Mine is this back arm here. I can always rotate the hoop in the software so that the overalls would be hanging towards my body, and I wouldn't have to worry about it being in the way. So keep that in mind, rotating your design to keep things where they should be. And I'm going to use a dark thread for you guys. Like I said, we're going to have another giveaway in a minute, and we're almost done. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. Make sure you guys enter hashtag midnight again. Just know that if you have already entered and your name is on the wheel, it doesn't duplicate your name, and you don't need to enter it again, but you can if you want to, if it makes you feel better. You do not need to re-enter your name after every drawing. It's just to make sure, that you're in there, especially for new people like popping in at the end of the live stream, things like that. Yep, make sure you enter the hashtag. So I'm just looking at all these comments, trying to think if there's anything else. I'm getting ready for the next step, which we may or may not do. I may show you guys how to do one of them, but I don't want to make you watch the whole thing. I can always finish it up after the show, and we're going to cover everything that's important. So let's do hashtag midnight. I appreciate you guys being patient. While the machine is doing this, and like I said, do not let me forget to do tonight's giveaway. I need to write this down like in front of me in big letters. Giveaway. Don't forget. Don't forget, Becca. I did want to show you guys something Pretty cool. So I told you guys, hang on, let's do this first. I don't want to stop. So what the machine has done is it has started here where it left off on the last hooping and it stitched down this leg. It came up a little bit and stitched right in between the legs and then up here, but we're not done because it has left this open. The reason why it's left that open is if you had inserted elastic into your overalls at the bottom of the cuffs, you could now pull that elastic. You would have one coming out of each, you know, the front of the overalls and the back. You would pull that elastic and hold it, and the machine is going to come over here and it's going to stitch while you're pulling on that elastic, and that's going to suck in, you know, the little cuffs at the bottom of the legs. But we're going to skip that with the elastic tonight, and we're going to go right to stitching the very last color. Let's get this back on the machine. All right, I got it on there. And now the last color. And we're gonna get these trimmed up. Let me show you my cool thing. I have a USB cord and I have some little thingies in a bag here. I wonder what these could be. And who remembers when I told them, or who was here in a live stream when I mentioned turning my embroidery hoop into a magical embroidery hoop that looks like wood and lights up? Well, I have some materials to test that, and I wanted to show you guys. So what I have here is a copper coil, and I ordered this, but it came bent. And then here are the LED lights. So the way this works is you would have this copper coil. I'm going to have it on my table under this mat built into the table. And then it just plugs in here to this little computer board like so. Well, let me get these out of the way so I don't ruin the surprise. And then you just come over here. I'm going to plug this into the machine. My computer, this little light comes on. So imagine this is underneath my purple mat here, and I bring my embroidery hoop over, which has these mounted to it. These are LED lights that do not have any batteries, you guys. And I think I have some pink ones. Here they are. I'll show you. So I have some color choices, but you can see this coil is not the best quality, so I'm going to end up having to make my own and solder it to a control board. But at least I have something to use as a guide. But you can see my embroidery hoop is going to have these, you know, epoxied to it. Let me just take these out. I think this would look like candy in my hand. I haven't even seen it. There's those, the pink ones. Let's see what the warm white looks like. Well, good grief. Can I have it already? 2 bags, really? 2 bags. Which color is you guys' favorite? Is that not cool? So these would be on my embroidery hoop that looks like wood and has gold markings, ruler markings that I'm going to put on it. And then these will be mounted. And then every time I put my hoop here on the table, it lights up. So what do you guys think? Is that not cool? It works pretty good, but I think I can make it stronger. So that is that. That's a little, my mind, my little science mind. I love science. You guys, I was not a normal child. I had my bedroom. After I went out of the doll phase, you guys know I was into dolls way past, you know, appropriate age, like beyond 12 years old. As soon as I got out of dolls, I got into science, and I had Mom, you probably, if you're watching, I had caterpillars in my room and I had biospheres set up. I had microscopes and chemistry sets, and I was just all into the science. And yeah, I love science. I love math. I love it all. And art. All right, you guys, here's our completed overalls, and we're going to have that giveaway in just a minute because you guys are not going to let me forget this time. And Becca is not going to forget. I'm just going to snip and remove this. We're going to trim it and turn it right side out. You can be rough with it because we've triple stitched it, so it's good and strong. I know you guys, I want to see this on the lion. I hope you guys will see it. Stay and see it on our lion that we made last week. We are almost done, you guys. Gonna do that giveaway. Okay, now I'm gonna trim this super duper fast. All we have to trim is the sides and in between the legs. So there's one. And here's the second side. And let's get in between the little legs. This part always scares me. I think I'm gonna snip the fabric too closely. Okay, now I'm ready for this big reveal. Let's get the ugly hoop out of the way. And we just turn it right side out. You could do French seams on this somehow. If you did want to use this as a sewing pattern, I would say use the last two hoopings as your pattern for sewing your own overalls if you really wanted to use a sewing machine. Oh, this is so cute. I'm not even going to iron them, but oh, I love this color. What do you guys think? We're going to do one cam snap. I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it, okay? So I have an awl. I have the male. And let me see if I have a cam press, you guys, which is like a big metal device that does the cam snaps for you. So I need to use a female. Okay. I'll show you it in just a minute. So I just like to come in about, I don't know, about a 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch. And I make a hole with the awl. Don't let me forget to do the giveaway, you guys. Hole with awl. Now, because this strap comes over to the front, right, we're going to see it. I want the shiny part of the cam to be on the front, like so. And then I just take this little piece here. And so on the back side is the female, and the front side is the cam snap. Now, I have this crazy thing over here, and I always have a hard time using it. I have to put it on the floor, but I'm gonna put it on the table, you guys, for tonight. This is my cam press. So you just put your little snap in here with the shiny side down. And I'm going to use this sucker to seat the cam. I'm so weak. All right, and it's perfect. You know those pliers that they sell with the cam snaps? They always break the snaps, especially the males that have the other piece on the inside. It always breaks them, and then you can't get the cam snap off of your garment, and I hate that. So I just bought this thing, and it works so much better. But I usually put it on the floor because I'm weak. I need like I usually like get up on my knees and like push down. I'm a weakling. Okay, we're gonna pretend I did all the cam snaps. Let's put this on our lion. And then we're having a giveaway because you guys are not going to let me forget. And I'm not forgetting. Let's get her dressed. Look at that baby. Now, our lion is going to have its own outfit, and I was going to talk about that tonight, but I ran out of time. But I will ask, and you guys let me know. Since we don't have a tail hole, we're going to push this down. Maybe I'll put a tail hole in these clothes. A little applique tail hole. All right, so for now, she's going to have it inside her pants leg. And then this will just come around, and you'll have another snap here. Can you picture it? Let's pin it so we can see it really good. While we are closing up tonight and everybody's entering #midnight for the last time, I want you guys to let me know. Here's our little baby. Would you like for the summer, the sweet summer clothing set that's coming out? I have 2 ideas. I would like to either make a mermaid tail that the doll can wear with a little top, like a little shell top or a little swimming bandana? Or would you like shorts and a top? So I have a top idea in mind that instead of using these straps, it'll actually be the shirt that goes around, but it'll be a tank top and a cute little pair of capris or shorts that go with it. Let me know what you would rather have or if I should do both. So before you leave tonight, please let me know what you want me to make. But here is our beautiful little lion. We're going to close out tonight with a giveaway. You guys have been amazing to me. An amazing crowd helping each other. Remember to enter #midnight. And remember that our prize tonight is our doll kit that has the fabric, the pacifier, the doll joints, fur, and the doll needle. And we are going to have that giveaway. Let's look at the wheel. We have 153 people. Good grief. That makes me so happy that that wheel works. Like you guys, I felt so discouraged whenever it messed up that first night. And because I worked so long getting it working. So it broke my heart when it didn't work, but it's working now, so I forgive it. All right, you guys ready for this? Let's have our last giveaway. All right, spinning down. My Kids Are My World 6. I love that screen name. My Kids Are My World. Congratulations, My Kids Are My World. You have won the doll kit for tonight. Your name will be removed. Everybody's names will be removed now. You guys have been amazing to me. Let me put up the rules for her, by the way, so she knows how to get her supplies. So, My Kids Are My World. Please contact me through our website at planetapplique.com within 7 days. Include your profile, name, and your max hoop size, and I will get that sent right out to you. So we have done a lot tonight, you guys. There were some things I didn't get to. I was going to show you guys how I plan to do the outfit for our lion. But like, this is just the cutest thing ever, you guys. I love it. I hope you will go and you will make yourself some overalls, and you've seen how to make it. We've almost made some mistakes together. And I just want you to know that we will see you next Sunday again at 7:30 at Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you come and see us, and have a beautiful evening. Have some time with your husband or your family and enjoy your rest of the night. Thank you.